Hello, this is Tossbag Bunkerkund.
I knew it was going to be Operation Stealth.
And who are you?
To be decided.
This is Gabriel.
And
as if you didn't guess. And now we're playing a copy protection system.
Ooh.
Called Operation Stealth.
To gain access to this file, match the proper color codes. This reminds me of the pirate wheel from
high-tech solutions right here.
Yeah.
Even before DRM.
Booklets, because...
Now here's a picture of the developer's last birthday party.
Looks like what a mime has a nightmare about.
Yes, as Gabe helpfully pointed out, this is Operation Stealth from our old friends Delphine Studios, who made Future Wars. This was the game after that, the second in the 3 Delphine Software cinematic games. So it's like a film, because you have to be short. You have to be quiet and reverent, because it's a film. It's starting, Gabe, it's starting. Shh, shh, shh.
This was back when cinematic in gaming wasn't a bad thing.
And now... a douchebag.
Yeah, that looks like one of those 4chan things where they just mirror a face.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a perfectly... I was saying, yes, cover up that bloody soul patch. We don't want to see any more of that.
I was not expecting that. That's actually pretty cool.
Yes. It's a flight helmet.
Yeah, I figure is he going to get ejected from something or injected into something? Well, he might be getting put into a big machine robot thing. Oh, there we go.
No, he's not. Do you see that mysterious body on the floor? Maybe this douche isn't supposed to be wearing that flight suit.
See, I kind of respect that, like, because I missed that. That's, you know...
It's probably because there's a big bar at the bottom of my video player that's partially blocking it.
Is there a thing that can you move the mouse? Oh, there we go.
And now some music. I think, actually, graphics has improved significantly since Future Wars, don't you?
No, for all the faults in any gameplay of the games they've made, Delphine always had amazing presentation. Like, even Shaq Fu had a complete story with, like, cutscenes and shit.
Yes. And then there was Flashback, of course, in which the art style changed from cutscene to cutscene.
I still kind of like that. I'd like a game that actually... That's why I kind of enjoy some of Suda's stuff. The idea of, a game that changes graphics and game styles.
Suda 5.1, he means.
Yeah. Not, my friend Suda.
And this is Opera. We're going on out on the Opera. Oh no, it's operating. We're going to operate on a lady. Oh no, it's Operation. It's Operation Stealth.
Operation Stealth.
Which isn't a very good name for an operation, is it? Because my understanding was that you give code names to operations so that the enemy don't know what the operation's about.
Operation Fluffy Weasel.
Oh, there's some shenanigans involving a stealth bomber going on, and now there's people doing something called Operation Stealth. I wonder what that's involved with.
Probably not related one iota.
Yeah, this music still fits really well, I think. CIA headquarters, man at a desk.
Man at a desk.
Gabriel, say the words, this looks like it could be a James Bond game.
This looks like it could be a James Bond game.
Funny you should say that, Gabriel, because it was a James Bond game. In America.
Oh, really?
In America it was called James Bond The Stealth Affair, because somehow they managed to wangle the license over there. Everywhere else it was called Operation Stealth, and the main character's name is, brace yourself, John Glames.
That's... Okay, I've been playing Xenoblades, and I will say that it is hard to make up names. Like, Xenoblades is great in everything except the names that it comes up with are the worst names for monsters, weapons, and characters. It's just awful.
I've noticed a problem with that in like Japanese RPG. If you play like the PS1 translation of Final Fantasy V, the monster names are fucking stupid.
The main weapon, the big weapon of fate in Xenoblades, is called the Monado. That sounds like a shitty budget car.
Sounds like a Latin American drum band.
Hello, we are Monado, a loving tribute to Menudo.
So there's a whole lot of plot going on here. Basically, the gist of it is the prototype stealth bomber that the Americans were developing has been stolen by that douche man.
Yeah.
And
I like a game that introduces the villain first.
And apparently, like an episode of Columbo. And apparently it's currently in...
Good luck, John!
Good luck, John!
I like the idea that he just shouted that. He did shout that.
He did.
Because the response was, yeah, thanks.
Well, he's so smooth, John Glames.
Yeah, that's probably like part of their training, is their superiors will just, without...
So yeah, apparently the stealth bomber is somewhere in Santa Paraguay, the fictional South American nation.
I suffer from sausage fingers, don't tease me.
Also, I am Stan Laurel.
Some mutant fucking hands. There's also a little...
And now we are in gameplay. We're ready to go.
Whee!
Just gonna... Yeah, I played through this game once before to get it all done. Yeah. You might notice my frustration rising through those save games.
Sausage feast! That's made me chuckle.
Oh, can't start our adventure right away.
At least it's got... Do you right-click to bring up the little menu?
Yes, like in Future Wars. And unlike in Future Wars, you can actually interact with your inventory by right-clicking on a verb. That is something I did not realise for quite a while when I first started this game. I was stuck in this little room for a long time. So we're going to take our American...
like his own anime drawing of himself.
We'll take our American passport because we're a CIA agent, not an MI6 agent. Although, apparently, weirdly enough, you're still working for the CIA even in the James Bond version of the game.
Well, didn't he have that CIA buddy?
He didn't take orders from them.
Oh, no, but...
So, we show that our American passport.
Glames.
John Glames. I like the detail. Not John Bames. That would have been too obvious. Oh no. Hostages. Hostages? Yes, apparently if any American comes into the country, absolutely any citizen can kidnap them.
That's I like the idea that somewhere...
Well, we're off to a flying start with two very beefy armed men. There's a lot of bullshit death.
That was awesome. I love games with bullshit death.
There was bullshit death in Future Wars. There's a lot of bullshit death here too.
Let's go. Woo! Those weren't arms. Those were other people. Like the Mexican governments tried to create devastators out of regular human beings and midgets.
So, in fact, what we have to do is mess around firstly with this newspaper.
I was going to say, didn't you show him the passport?
Yeah, but it was because we revealed ourselves as an American that we were then, we then got killed. And this is like a very clever joke reference to the newspaper machine in Future Wars, where you did this exact same puzzle, look in the coin return slot and put the coin in.
A newspaper!
And there's an actual reference, because remember in Future Wars we had to do that twice. So now that we've got the newspaper, we can read it and realise which country is currently diplomatically fine with Santa Paraguay. In this case it's the UK, but it changes randomly each time you play.
So is that just a dialogue tech, or is it another?
Well, this is... I guess this is copy protection, but not really. How it works is that the game came with a little booklet detailing all the spy gadgets you've been given, but you're not actually told what the spy gadgets are in-game. You have to just know what they are. See that pen we just picked up?
Yep.
If you examine it, it'll just say it's an ordinary pen, but it actually drops acid. And by drop acid, I mean it produces metal dissolving acid. It does not take lysergic acid and reminisce about the 60s. And the calculator opens the secret compartment in the briefcase, which contains a passport falsifier.
Don't leave home without it.
So we've got a blank passport, and we just have to change it to England. And then we can make a passport that will ensure that we don't get kidnapped, because any other passport would. Well, this is a very diplomatically iffy situation this country's in. That's
not exactly what you'd call a diplomatic response of just,
immediately kidnap.
Not from the UK. Guess where you're going?
So now, yes, our XP James Bond can now pretend to be English like James Bond is.
Does he have to put on an accent?
Well, we don't even know what he's talking about.
I imagine that he's got a really thick South Carolinian accent.
See, the thing about John Glames is that he's not, retarded like Mr. Hero from Future Wars was, but I think he's just kind of a bumbler. He doesn't really respond to anything. He doesn't really have any emotional response. He doesn't... decisively decide to do anything. The plot just moves along when people decide to explain things to him, but the rest of the time he just sort of ambles through life.
John Glames. That customs officer has some Popeye fucking forearms going.
And we've been sent a telegram.
Oh. I remember those.
Yeah.
Stop.
evokes a bit of the old memory lane, doesn't it?
I mean, I never received one.
So now we have completed part 1 of the get through airport and baggage claim puzzle.
Oh,
This is just busy work because you've only got one airline ticket. You just give it to the guy, and that's it. You started with the ticket.
it's just.
You just can't get over his beefy arms, can you?
Well, they're that's not beefy. Beefy does not adequately describe Ultra Che Guevara over there.
So that telegram we got said, Flight 714, Mr. Martinez. And this is the baggage claim for Flight 714.
I presume you get shot if you try to take.
Yeah, if you take anyone else's bags, you'll eventually get shot for stealing.
Mr. Martinez. Operate baggage.
Whoops. That's a bit of a dialogue fucker, wasn't it, Delphine? I don't think that message was supposed to go there.
Oh, you mean that wasn't something actually happening?
No. That was a glitch.
Ah. Okay,
That will not be the first glitch we run into throughout the course of this game.
Awesome.
Yes, the engine has been improved slightly from Future Wars and devolved slightly from Future Wars.
Well, I mean, glitches...
This is me trying to put the bag back on the carousel. And then this baffling statement appears. It's a French game. Translation's dodgy in here and there.
Yeah, that bordered on Zen Cohen, though. Like, I feel a part of my consciousness I've never used just got expanded.
None of it bothers Bandy Legs John Glames, though. He's just gonna bumble about his business. So we picked up an electric razor and a watch from that baggage.
You're gonna shave justice into your face?
No, as we would have learned from the booklet, the electric razor is actually a secret spy communication device.
Ah.
And the watch...
Is a transmitter?
No. The watch shoots grappling hooks on a bit of wire, of course.
Yeah, fuck.
Although we won't actually use it for a very long time. So this is where when I first played this game on the Amiga, it took a very long time for me to hear this, but this is actually the first thing you're supposed to do in the game. You have to go to a park. Ha ha ha, that wasn't really exploding. Do you get the joke, Gabe? It said it was going to explode, but then it didn't. You get it, Gabe? Do you get it?
No, that kind of sophisticated French humor just goes right over my head.
So apparently we have to meet our contact in the park. But basically, we know we're looking for the stolen stealth bomber, but our moment-to-moment instruction at this point is make contact with your contact. Now, at this point in the game won't actually let you show the American passport to this guy. It just goes, you shouldn't do that. Oh, and it's funny you should mention, being arrested for stealing other people's baggage. Because they will now bring up that we are not carrying Mr. Glames's bag. Master Spy John Glames there, talking his way out of a difficult situation with his charm.
By going, guards at airports in Banana Republics are completely okay with you just going, I don't know, when you have somebody else's luggage.
No.
Hey, why don't you just borrow a kid while you're at it? Just yoink one of them.
Oh, I think this is one of my favourite scenes in the game, just for showing John Glames to be the absolute douchebag that he is. Nothing interesting, just a woman struggling to make her way in the world.
Well,
a single parent being shat on by the society that claims to look after her. And now we're gonna nick her. Children. And now we're gonna nick her taxi.
We're going into a bright future, not like that single mother.
Step on it before she starts shouting at us in a very Latino and feisty way.
Mrs. Stereotype, can I get you to please calm down?
Oh yes, let me off here, please. This place looks lovely. Well, seen enough of that. Let's go back.
What? Do you go back to that later?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
good.
just they drop you off here just to inconvenience you.
That wasn't just a intricate background done for no reason whatsoever, then.
Because we are supposed to buy a red carnation from the flower shop there, so that we can be recognised by our contact.
Do we know that? Like, did the...
Yeah, the electric razor said that. But we can't... But she doesn't have change, so we have to go to this bank to change our money into coins. And here's a hint here, it says he has got more change. You actually have to do this twice with your bench of notes.
Bench of notes?
I think they mean bunch of notes.
I'm pretty sure they mean bunch too.
I quite like that gag, actually.
Everyone's rude in banana republics.
I just think it's like a humorous self-dig at the gameplay mechanic of having to throw the same bunch of notes twice for no apparent reason.
It would be a weird thing to do, like just to walk into a 7-Eleven and go, "Can I get this $5 note changed into 2 2s and a 1?" And then they do it, and you just don't move. You wait an awkward 6 seconds and go, "Can I get this $5 note changed?" just to watch the crinkle of the brow.
Yes, it's quite a sophisticated moment for this game. It has its ups and downs, it must be said.
I see what you mean about the bendy legs.
Yeah, and now there doesn't appear to be any examine dialogue for any of these flowers.
Great.
But who needs it, right?
Yeah. It says red carnation, you know what you need.
Incidentally, Eric Chahi was not the artist on this.
No, it doesn't look it.
I don't think he was involved in this at all. His name doesn't appear in the end credits, as far as I remember. Perhaps he's moved on to pastures new by now.
You take the prettiest red carnation.
Oh, what a delightful senorita you will look with that on, Mr. Glames.
Glames. It's just, hi, my name's Glabe Fortin. It's just...
Hi, my name's Blartsy Schmoshaw.
Blartsy Schmoshaw. I'm from Scotland, and I'm here to talk about board games. You should do that. Just
My granddad's from Scotland, actually.
create, like, an alternate identity.
Yeah, I think I'm about to... Yes, I saved now in defense of bullshit death coming up soon.
I was gonna say, you're gonna get attacked by a wiener anteater.
What?
Look at the
sign.
sign.
No.
That's an anteater's head on a dachshund.
That sign is meant to indicate there are no wiener anteaters in this vicinity.
I'm guessing the drive-by shot him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, see? It's not all completely
The dog
impossible to understand.
in my butt.
Yes, this was our contact. It wasn't just some guy coming up to solicit us for park sex.
Which it could have been.
So now might as well just stick around, enjoy the sights for a bit, enjoy the smell coming off the spring flowers, stand over this corpse. Oh, the police arrived.
For murder!
How foolish.
Oh, I love... like, come on, like, you can't...
They look like they've got buffalo wings, man,
Yeah,
to their shoulders.
Like, you can't, laugh at me for harping on about that. Like, someone drew that and said, yep.
I hate the way this game congratulates you every time you die. It seems very sarcastic. So now this time we're just going to fucking scarper.
Good call. Well, rule number 1, don't hang around a dead body.
In spy games, apparently.
Period. Telefono.
Is this game racist? I'm not sure.
I think the, enormous sombrero napping in the background is slightly.
They do that in Mexico.
They.
I don't know if this is near Mexico.
I think it's more like South America.
So this, cheerful fellow is our next point of contact, because the number and key we've gotten belongs to a safety deposit box.
Ah. Not so snooty now, mister. Why do I have to change your notes twice in a fucking row, you...
Yes. He's warming to you. And to the side of his cubicle. I'm just going to quickly demonstrate that it's still got the Future Wars as the crow flies method of walk to the point where you clicked. So you have to click on every single vertex to move in a circular path.
Hey.
Do you remember what our number was on the card?
Nope.
You're not even trying anymore, are you?
Well, when I'm watching somebody else's playthrough of a game, I rarely try to solve the puzzles myself.
Well, you could at least try. It's like watching Poirot. You try and figure out the solution before the guy on screen
that's
does.
not a puzzle. There was just a number. This is a
Actually, the guy at the counter takes the card from you, so you have to remember the number.
What a horrible thing to do.
Which contains a calculator, said the narration inside Glames's head.
The narration has that kind of loud quasi-Down syndrome that outer suburbanites get.
Now again, it's only from reading the little booklet that you'd know what this little box is, or alternatively, if you'd seen the film You Only Live Twice, because it features in that.
Huh.
It's a safe-cracking device.
Oh. That big thing does look a little bit like the room that Goldfinger kept his gold in, like the...
Oh my goodness, that guy who's shot is not dead.
And he's multiplied.
I don't think question mark is a thing. I think that's just mashing your keyboard.
Having a thumb stroke.
So it turns out that actually wasn't our contact. Our contact is presumably dead. These are Russian agents who used that as a clever subterfuge to get the documents from that briefcase.
Comrade Ostrovich.
Later, after a hard trip through the void of space...
The existential nether realm. There is nothing. You're not even moving. Everything is pointless.
You'll notice that these Russian agents are basically John Glames' sprite with a coat like painted over it. They got the same bandy-legged walk.
Yeah,
everything is red.
No names, idiot.
Oh, that was a reference, I think.
Glames.
And there seems to be some kind of woodpecker trying to get our attention.
It's stuck in my MIDI thing.
Inside the bomb. So, the classic James Bond over-elaborate and easily escapable unsupervised death sequence.
Yeah.
Oh, there was something sharp right next to the ropes. How fortunate.
Piece of metal. Yeah, I love the...
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it?
Put someone somewhere, don't... Well, it's like, you know, Miller's Crossing is like, I always tell my boys, once in the head.
There are many times in this game where there's something you're supposed to be interacting with, but you can't actually see it on screen. You just have to, like...
That's brilliant!
Put your mouse vaguely next to it.
It's like having a fighting game character with no arms or legs.
Yes, it's exactly like that. Like those dudes from Serious Sam.
The torsos.
The torsos, I love that.
Haunted by angry torsos.
I didn't want it that much, game. You just, like, introduced it. Now, here's bullshit. Use pickaxe on a rock wall, and that won't do anything. I would thought that would be quite the right way of wording it.
Yeah, that's...
What you have to do is operate the pickaxe inside your inventory. And then John, John vaguely gestures his pickaxe to something to the right of him, so you have to be standing in the right position.
I love how he's digging through what would conceivably be just solid planet, and not, you know, the rock fall to the way out.
And here's the first of many bullshit mandatory arcade sequences in this game. This game fucking loves bullshit mandatory arcade sequences. That red line at the top is our air meter. We just have to make sure we refill our air meter at every opportunity. It's as simple as that, really.
Oh, at least, you know, I thought you might die immediately if you bumped into anything.
Oh, you just wait. There is bullshit a-coming.
Oh, sweet. So we're talking like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like electric seaweed sort of shit.
Not really. Bullshit in terms of game glitch bullshit.
Fuck, even better.
Oh no, I gotta get to the surface to refill my air quickly. There we go. Moving characters with the mouse in Delphine games is always really sticky and awkward.
Yeah, well, that's...
I don't better get some air. Wait, why is my air still going down? I'm up the surface. Delphine! Delphine, you assholes! Don't patronize me, Delphine. That was entirely your fault.
That's just the icing on the cake. Their game breaks and they chide you for stupidity.
It keeps doing that though. That's not even the only time it does that.
I mean, that's not like you were rubbing the character up against an obscure wall in a corner somewhere you wouldn't normally go.
No, my head was breaking the surface.
And this is also a key element in a unavoidable fucking moment in the game. It's not like a tester wouldn't have done this.
You can't fucking turn your head upwards.
That's awesome.
It's happening again.
Oh, wait, there you go. Yeah. What?
I don't see why click mouse to go somewhere is somehow so difficult in these games. It's not fucking id Tech 4.
It's part of the challenge. Have to work against the game.
This is the bit where the air pockets aren't as obvious as they were in the previous room. But it's...
Well, you know, that's made up by the fact that it's, like, really crisp and well detected.
This is the narrowest edge of the wedge when it comes to bullshit action sequences in this game, by the way.
So they get worse?
Well, later there's a sequence that I flat out loaded one of my saves from my previous playthrough just so I wouldn't have to go through it again.
Oh, goody, I can't wait for that. Yeah, it's... I really did not like the habit of putting arcade sequences in adventure games.
Watch this florist be completely unsurprised. It's a very James Bond thing to do, though, to come out of the water in your tuxedo, brush off the droplets, and walk away.
Ma'am, we'll shag later.
Nod your head.
Mm-hmm. And go dry him off in that sleepy stereotype.
And we're going to go southwest for the first time.
Ooh.
Which we could have gone at any time, but there would have been no reason to do so. But we have to go to the hotel next for reasons that are never explained. But first we'll talk to this racist caricature.
Speak, man.
And this is what we needed the other set of coins for. Stop yelling at me, please. They call it a bracelet. I think they mean life belt. It's an inflatable...
Those are two very different things.
It's an inflatable... It's an inflatable device that we have to use shortly for a puzzle. But yeah, bracelet is a kind of misleading sort of name for it.
Quick, throw me that life bracelet.
What?
I
don't see no life bracelets around here. There's life belts. Do you want those? Oh,
life
you drowned.
Jackets. What is that? Lifesaver? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. What the...
Yes, that is a delightful man with severe anatomy problems.
Let's put that right in the fucking foreground. My mother wouldn't send me to sculpting school. Well, who's laughing now, you bitch?
Now, if we'd come here before, this hotelier would just tell us to piss off, basically. But now, suspiciously, he's all smiles and got a room for us. I wonder if
How
that's
did he know that you had baggage and shit?
I wonder if that might be foreshadowing something. Maybe he's mistaking you for somebody else.
El Presidente Gigante?
No.
Oh.
Well, it's funny you should say that.
Awesome. There needs to be an arcade-style boss battle against a vast President Gigante.
Now, it's a little unclear to me how you're supposed to know to do this, but you have to go to the last door on the 3rd floor.
That's one thing, like, I've been playing a lot of adventure games lately, and the biggest hassle I'm finding is unclear objectives.
Basically, the only reason you know to do this is because it's the only place to go.
No, it's not fun.
Oh, look. Our path is being blocked. But at least we have some respect for our blockage.
Truly, she's the real hero here.
I like how she said it twice in different languages.
She's a Latin American housekeeper. Just push her down.
I think she's full of shit. But whatever, we'll play it your way, game.
Just knock her over and keep walking. She won't even register it.
No, I just have to go to the floor below and take the stairs. Because that's the kind of...
Are you fucking serious? That's the puzzle to get around.
That's the puzzle. That's the kind of super secret agent we are.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, the real James Bond would have seduced that lady out of the way.
Yeah, maybe just rattle off a few into her mouth or something.
What? I don't even want to picture it.
Well, you are.
He'd be saying, "Oh, I can think of some applications for that vacuum cleaner, young lady."
That was... Please do that Sean Connery impression more often. I want to hear that.
I'm going to open this door now.
I've heard you do a fantastic George Lazenby impression too.
Not intentionally.
No, yeah, it's more of a... Just kind of live that impression.
It's opening, John!
Tell me there's nobody else in that room and that was just him saying it to himself. Awesome!
I have to disappoint you there.
Ah, damn it.
John Glames doesn't mac on the ladies very well in this game.
What?
See...
is that woman wearing?
He just completely gets thrown off his stride here, look.
Julia, shut up.
I wonder what she's going on about. Oh, there's someone who looks exactly like us. Called Otto, who shouts everything he says.
I love Ultra Che Guevara. Just, tell me that's not like...
That's like Che Guevara having taken some kind of cosmic crystal.
Yeah, that's Che Guevara's final form when he fuses with Castro.
That's the Final Fantasy IX Berserk state of Che Guevara.
It's just...
Now here's bullshit.
Socialism!
We're actually supposed to be doing something here, even though it looks like a cutscene. We have to inflate the bracelet. It doesn't appear to have visibly inflated. But rest assured, we now have a slightly larger volume than we would have done otherwise, and this will be important.
Given what that Julia character looks like, I'm just imagining her as, like, SNL-era Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
You should see her walk animation later.
Awesome.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It looks like someone tried to make a Slinky sexy.
you'll be surprised how close that is. Now, I think Otto kind of lives in his own little world, really.
Don't all these villains do?
I don't know what he's going on about.
Good time out for a joke.
The implication from this dialogue is that he believes us to be one of the Soviet agents who were operating earlier in the game. Why a Soviet agent would be called John Glames, I don't know.
Well, you know, you can't call him fucking Socialism von Russia.
Well, we had those guys called Karpov and Ostrovich earlier. And now here's some lovely relaxing music to listen to while you drown.
I just have this image in my head of Guybrush Threepwood just walking in from off screen, just holding his breath, just untires and keeps on walking.
It is a very Monkey Island 2-y sort of sequence.
Sinking down a ways. Here he is to be popping right about now.
Yeah, they seem kind of placid about it. So how you doing?
Drowning's like going to sleep.
I like how he's looking at her as if to say, this is entirely your fault.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
This is why we inflated that bracelet earlier. You can't see it, but I like to think it was one of those little horsey rubber rings you wear around your waist.
Yeah, it's South American, so it'll be like a llama.
Yeah.
Little inflatable llama.
Now you have to do this...
Operate, girl.
Of course. That's how John Glames likes to treat his ladies.
Yeah, that's pretty much how you do it.
You are suitable for operation proceedings. With this, we're actually out of control now. We just have to hope that we untied her fast enough to get to the surface before we run out of air.
Wait, what? So you have to go back up through those 3 screens and looking at this little bar going down, and you have no idea if you did it quick enough.
Yep, you pretty much have to act immediately to survive this.
That's fucking horrible.
This is not even the bullshittest part of the game.
I hate this. I'm like, I'm angry and I'm not even the one playing it.
Yeah, I bet you're wondering if this was actually a death I left in or if I actually survived it, aren't you?
I'd have left one in, just out of spite. I mean, again, like this, my opinion of these is that you have to leave the frustrating bits in a little bit at least a little bit, because you could have edited this down and made it look like a fucking, rollicking great adventure.
Look how much air's left.
Yeah.
See, that's exactly how much buffer you had to figure out what you had to do.
That is a fascinating amount of bullshit.
And Julia's mates just happens to be patrolling the area.
Hello, I'm out in the open ocean in a rubber dinghy.
I'm being helped by Popeye now.
Yeah.
I can't do a Popeye voice.
Out here with a bunch of like-minded fellows who can only get together in international waters for reasons he'd rather not discuss.
This is one of the cases of John Glames bumbling his way into progress. And
holy crap, you're right about a walk.
I know. Now everything will be explained to him for a rather lengthy cutscene. Awesome. And yeah, she walks like she's got some kind of camel gear device inside
and
her
no
hips.
crutches.
I think her hips are connected to her spine by some kind of rotational device.
I think her father was a pendulum.
She's the daughter of the president, or the niece of the president, one of those.
A thing.
But the implication is that the president has been replaced by an imposter. Because his behaviour...
That old chestnut.
Because his behaviour has changed. So now we're going to break into the palace and save him, although you can pretty much forget about the save him aspect, because that will be quietly dropped.
Those walk animations.
So we're going to break into the palace disguised as performers. This was the same plot used in Tintin and the Picaros for those trying to keep up. This is one of the most unnecessarily long cutscenes in the game.
Yeah.
It's going to show us the whole thing, going through 5 different backdrops that aren't used in any other way. I'm thinking they had some extra time left over at the end of the project.
Yeah, and there was nothing else they could have done, like glitch testing or tighten up anything or write some more dialogue.
Yeah, get it translated properly.
Yeah, just
come up with something better than John Glames.
John Glames. That's just not a...
Our courageous team, one of whom we've just met, arrives at the edge of the palace.
I get the feeling now there'll be a shitload of Glameses piping up in the YouTube comments. It'll be like the Bort scene from The Sims. It's like, hey!
Everyone's called Glames in our part of the world.
My name's William Glames, and I'm one of the... the Rutherford Gleams family that's been in this area of the world for over 200 years.
I don't know why, but somehow I think Glames would be an optician family business. Or a window making.
Glaziers.
Yeah, Glames Glaziers.
Glames Glaziers.
We are not a front for a spy organisation.
Yeah, no.
Now get ready for the most streamlined magic show in the history of entertainment.
Cool.
Again, there is nothing important about this scene. This is to kill time.
See...
So our rebel friend has, like, secreted us into the palace as magic trick act supporters.
Yeah, you could develop some really good puzzles around having to be on stage and do a show...
Yeah.
To sneak in like that. This could be a really, you could really build something around this. This is not an idea without some functional fucking merit.
Could have been like the whole opera house sequence from Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
And now you've had your magic. Now we're reversing the entire trick. They're shit at the
Banana Republics, man. They're just impressed they have lights on a stage.
They're shit at the patter. These guys. They don't know anything about engaging the audience.
No.
Holy shit! How did he do that?
Nihilist, realist magic.
Clap, 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 clap. Our clapping is slowing down slightly. That has nothing to do with this large sprite encroaching upon the screen.
Hear the old engine going, "Oh, come on, get it, go, get it."
And the engine goes, oh, well, that was exciting. Well, I'm bored. Let's have another mandatory action sequence.
Did the girl get abducted by beef arms again? How did that happen?
Yeah, because that is the role of that woman from now on.
I know, but how did that happen from where? I mean, again, where are they?
Well, that's a very good question.
Because the last couple of times I could ignore the black just walking across, it's like traveling. That's fine.
Who's this guy, the fucking Riddler?
Yeah.
Who between the two of you is the more wanted? Riddle me this, Batman. And now...
I have to go hide 40 things around Arkham.
And now a rat race.
Oh, Christ. The Mega Drive, or I think it might have been the Master System version of Back to the Future 2, which was just a compendium of shithouse awful minigames. Oh, God.
Well, you have to trap the guards in this really bizarrely laid out dungeon that there is absolutely no reason for it to exist. You have to get the key and then get to a door.
This is one of those things where just looking at it would, elicit nothing but a tired sigh from me. Like, just... Oh, I don't want to do... it's not looking fun. I don't want to do this.
These guards are like 1 degree thicker than the Metal Gear Solid guards. They can't even see you even if you're standing right in front of them.
How, I thought it'd have a really unfair detection range. Like, if you're on the same line as them, they go, hey, you.
The most obnoxious thing is that whether they take a turning or not appears to be randomized. So if you leave a route for them to go down, it's even odds whether they'll do it or not. And that leads to me getting fucked over here. Oh, look at me. It's time for a Glames and Buffalo wing sandwich.
Just... Oh, for God's sake.
Try to be more cautious. Fuck you, Delphine.
Bro needs to do some lower body days, man.
So we'll skip ahead a bit. To do after we finally get the key, and did a bit better here. I managed to trap a few of the random pathing guards into areas. Actually, I don't think any of them can get me at this point.
No, I think you're perfectly safe. I love it, they're all just milling about there like, huh? Doors?
I think this place is kind of over-patrolled, Comrade Sanchez. Yeah. Perhaps you could move to another one.
Quick, I need 80 dudes to guard my shed.
Well, I'm glad that's over.
What?
I wonder what's waiting for us now.
See, moving through the negative space as
another one!
Oh, fuck off.
There are actually 4 mazes in turn. Each one heralded by increasingly large numbers of buffalo wing guards pursuing you through the void of time and space.
This is just the worst thing ever.
Well, you'll be glad to hear I edited them out after a bit. Because really it's just this. You walking around a snooker table with a load of patrolling guards with...
beef mutants.
Load of beef mutants, thank you. And not being able to predict where they're going to go, so getting a big buffalo wing in the face every now and again.
Yeah, it wouldn't... It wouldn't be irritating if it was, they have a path and they run the path so you can easily, well, not easily, but you can.
Yeah, and if they had like
around.
a rule.
Yeah, like
They had
a
a rule,
structure.
they like if they only followed the right-hand wall or something.
Or, anything.
Yeah, and literally anything at all.
Yeah.
I think they were just padding the time.
What have we said
really.
about random in games?
It's a bad idea,
Yeah.
especially in situations like this.
Come on, meat wings, let's go.
They're turning into a little like
Conga line.
choreographed dance routine.
Yeah.
The meat wings.
And everybody flex. Flex.
Mutant Shay and the Buffalo Chorus.
I'd watch that movie.
That could be one of those like Saturday morning cartoon shows, like Josie and the Pussycats.
Those are weird shows.
They fight crime.
Somehow.
They go after smugglers and stuff.
I've been watching a lot of Batman Brave and the Bold lately.
And their rival band is I don't even know.
Fill in the cunts.
Yes. That's exactly the kind of tone Hanna-Barbera used to go for.
Yeah. Really.
Seems I didn't edit out as much of this as I thought.
That's the kind of behavior that would have earned me a sound, verbal abuse. Had I done it, oh god, why didn't you edit this out? I'm bored, wah.
The moment you're the one with the famous YouTube account, then you can complain, alright.
Ugh. I'd rather have an incurable skin disease than a famous YouTube account.
I mean, I hope you realise I'm the one doing you the favour in this arrangement.
I'm studying to become a teacher.
Yeah, because
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, look, the clicking movement fucked me over.
I'm sure it was that.
I think this is, yes, we just jump to the end now.
Yeah.
Just walk into these 4 planks, and that'll be it. So that was the second most bullshitty part of the game. Actually, call it the third.
Oh, sweet. I'm actually excited to see, because that is impressive. Like that.
It was
I was
impressive.
angry watching that. That was upsetting.
Oh, you just wait. You just wait, my friend.
I'm wondering because how long does the video go for? Like, how long is this one actually?
Oh, it's about an hour and a half. It's a long one. It's longer than Future Wars, but mainly because of bullshit.
Because it feels like it should be over now, but I'm waiting for some sort of amazing double cross,
I think
or
we're-
at least double cross.
I think this about marks the halfway point. It's not actually that long a game. It just draws itself out.
It just feels like a long time.
So look at this massive fancy room with all the wonderful things we could interact with. The only thing we are supposed to interact with is that statue's arm over there.
You manipulate the statue's arm, and
I just feel there's so much misplaced effort in this game. All these
Yeah.
backgrounds you only see once.
yeah,
We get to use that
like you could.
safe cracking device
Oh,
we
cool.
picked up earlier.
Like, it'd make more sense if the whole thing was just generally shoddy. Like, you know what I mean? It's that split. It's the difference between if there was obviously effort and they didn't spread it evenly
Yeah.
in any way. Like,
I think I see what you mean. I think Delphine as a company sorely needed a little better production effort. Now, this is a bit ambiguous, but basically, when the first light comes on, that is the first number of the combination. The second light that comes on is the third number in the combination. And the fourth light that comes on is the fourth. Do you see?
sort of.
It took me a while to figure this out.
So it's kind of like a back and forth puzzle. So, yeah.
Sort of. But if you entered, like, the wrong code, like, at any point, and then switched to the next number, you'd be fucked over, because the safe would explode, and there's no way to go back to correct a number.
Awesome.
We have to take the little box off again before
Two
we
of
can
those
open
things
it.
aren't numbers.
We can't actually use the little box again, but the game forces us to take it back anyway.
Great.
I get the feeling this game's getting a bit bored now. Like, here's those documents you wanted so much. Whatever. Oh, look who's here.
That guy is wearing a crazy-ass corset.
Holy shit. What has he done to himself?
Yeah, that's
He's shifted all his organs into
some-
his stomach.
some Category 5 body modification there.
Oh, it's Otto again, who hasn't, like, lost his lust for life in the time since we saw him last.
I don't even like what the deal is with... Who's the bad guy here? Otto, the Russians?
Well, they kind of all are.
Yeah.
I think this is the last...
Dicks, surrounded by dicks.
And now 2 Atari 2600 sprites flee the scene. more really elaborate backgrounds that are never used after this. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really like they have the. It's like someone started a game company with 8 background artists and nobody else.
What was that, Gabriel? More bullshit arcade sequences? The secret to this one is to move back and forth quickly, because the shark fins move diagonally, so they'll only touch you for a moment as you move.
Yeah. This is, again, like, something like this wouldn't be so bad if it had the kind of sensitivity and timing of a console game, but none of these fucking PC adventure games did.
And the mouse movement is as awkward as ever. I think this is the last time we'll see our Russian friends. I was trying to type "I'm the best" there, but the keyboard got a bit sticky and I couldn't be asked to fix it.
I don't want to know why you have a sticky keyboard.
Well, it's just like the game is programmed so that the keys are sticky. Now, unlike the previous round, the secret of this one is to make small movements. It's still bullshit, though. It took me a while to figure it out. Don't sing along. There's some lovely palette shifting animation there in the sea. And the purple sun will be rising soon.
The purple sun of Earth.
Are these supposed to be the Buffalo Wing Guards? Because they've kind of dressed down a bit for the occasion.
Reminds me of that documentary, The Man Whose Biceps Exploded.
Slight graphical fuck-up, and we continue.
Submarine.
Yes. This is actually the CIA. They've rescued us.
Oh, well, about fucking time.
Well done, you. Now, who do you think is talking here?
The submarine?
I think
a vast sentience. It's fuck up from Illuminatus. That's what it is.
I like to think it was John's dick.
Come in and play with me when you're finished. Claim, start the reactor.
Yeah, blah blah blah. And now that since we did such a poor job of trying to figure out what this plot was, we're now having the plot explained to us by the CIA bosses. There's an evil terrorist group called Spider who have stolen the stealth plane, and they're threatening to bomb all the cities of the world unless we bring them their ransom. And
what are they going to do with that ransom money? It's like, I gotta go to the shop.
Well, actually, what they want is plutonium. And lots of it to make bombs with.
So wait, they're threatening... They want the ingredients for bigger bombs, or they'll bomb everywhere.
I guess they've already got some slightly big bombs.
Okay, go get me a bigger club to hit you with, or I'll hit you with this club.
I'm not seeing much of an upside for me here, Spider.
Yeah, I mean, you're making me get up and go, just hit me with the one you've got, fuck you.
That wasn't a very Bondy line, was it? Hi, Charlie! This is us getting some more technical details. So the plot at this point is that the stealth bomber's location has been isolated to a point 300 feet below sea level.
That's pretty stealthy.
You know what that means in a James Bond movie? Underwater hidden base.
I want one of those.
So now the submarine is going to take us there.
Ideally, I'd like one of those offshore oil rigs designed for, long haul living as a home. That'd be great.
I imagine it would stop being cool after a while.
I'm a shut-in, so I don't care.
But what happens when you want a lady friend? That is from what I understand, the traditional problem of the oil rig staff.
Well, if I had the money to afford an oil rig, I'd have the money to afford prostitutes.
What are you going to do? Fly them out?
Yeah.
With all the money?
Yeah.
That you just spent on your oil rig?
Well, I'd buy a cheap one.
A cheap oil rig?
Yeah.
Just look on Craigslist or something.
Yeah, cheap oil rig, you buy it, you spruce the place up a little bit yourself. I mean, you have to do the renos, your own, off your own back, but...
Now this isn't technically an arcade sequence, but it will have the bullshit of one in a moment. See, those giant sharks, yeah, if they touch you, you're dead. And there's no way of predicting where they're going to come from, and there's no time to get out of the way when they appear. La-dee-da-dee-da.
Okay, so we developed some really killer arcade sequences. Those are going to be a hit. How about we just have regular point-and-click moments with random death for no discernible reason?
Now, when you reload a save...
Brilliant!
When you reload a save, all the weird white spunky things all over the screen disappear, which is frankly a mercy for me. But they all come back again when you leave the room.
I was going to say, isn't it meant to be you're in water?
Yeah. Oh, well, I gave it away, dude.
I don't know. Well, those aren't land sharks. Duh.
Now, this confused me for a while on my first run through, because I was working from a walkthrough and they said the leftmost seaweed in the leftmost room has the item we need. There's no indication that we need an item from any of the seaweeds, and if we don't get it, we'll be fucked.
Great.
But they said it was the leftmost seaweed in the leftmost room, but the first time I played it was that seaweed. The middle one in the second room.
Amazing.
But this time, when I was actually recording, it turned out to actually be the leftmost one in the leftmost room. Narrowly missing a shark there. And it's really hard to click on the seaweed because it's animating, and we can only click on the actual image of the seaweed, not the transparent bit. And we found an elastic band. That elastic band will save the day. Though by rights it should be like completely waterlogged and not work very well.
Yeah, I was gonna... That's... Just as well you found that there, because South America has no news agencies or even knowledge of rubber.
Well, there are no... oh, hello, Mr. Shark.
Shark looks retarded.
Why didn't you get out of the way of the shark, player? Are you dumb? Do we have to spell this out for you?
They could have literally just had this sequence basically have, like, just remove the shark graphics and just have random death. Like, just, your oxygen tanks just explode for no reason, randomly, and then the game goes, God, you're a fucking retard, duh.
Yeah, I loved the walkthrough I was working from at this point.
Basically, pine trees down there. Palm trees.
Well, perhaps that will, that factors into something.
This is after the waters have risen.
Yeah, pretty much. But the walkthrough I was working from, their advice for this point was avoid the sharks.
I love, like...
Thank you, Game FAQs.
I know. That's one of my other favorite things about this is reading the FAQs for shitty old games that are terrible, and it was like that thing for Manhunter where it just referred to the woman as the bitch, just weirdly out of the blue. It's just...
Now, for some reason, we're not allowed to move at this point. I think perhaps they were trying to, like, cover up a programming problem. But only it says,
didn't you just get electrocuted?
You had a mild electric shock. Now you can't move for 2 seconds, but now everything's fine. You can move again.
Hooray!
What are you hiding, Operation Stealth? What operation did you just do without my knowledge? And we're back in the void of time and space.
Oh God!
Now, please note we are currently wearing an all-black wetsuit.
Yeah.
I'll maybe just store that one away. It will come up later. He says he's going to get rid of it, but he doesn't.
Just keeps it.
He keeps wearing his black wetsuit. Well,
helps him slither around.
Well, it's so fitting, and now he's got the perfect camouflage for the void of time and space, since he seems to be spending so much of his time there.
I love that no one else is bothered by the void of time and space.
I think it might be the case of the Vinculum Gate in Killer 7. It's not actually a physical place.
It's a state of mind.
Yeah, you just move through the void of space, and then you're in the next area that should have been there.
I got the Vinculum Gate music stuck in my head now.
How helpful this automated ladder is for people who might be sneaking into this space the back way.
Okay, yeah. It would be like putting a backboard on the exhaust port on the Death Star.
Yeah.
Like, just, make sure, give them something to target. Oh, speaking of.
Oh, look, it's the undersea base. And there's the stealth bomber, and we've been captured.
Why would you have helicopters in an undersea base?
Because we are the worst secret agent.
Oh, just fly it out of there, it's fine. It's a propeller.
Get ready to have more things explained to your bumbling ass, John Glames.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, look, it's Dr. Y, the mastermind of Spider. Please kill me. We are in total control of many criminal groups. We're not going to tell you which. We're just going to keep you guessing. We're not that stupid.
Dr. Y.
I don't know if he's supposed to be the guy who's like taken the identity of the Santa Paraguayan president. That kind of gets glossed over as well. I don't know who that guy is.
Okay, so wait, does the woman show up again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so at least... Because they just seem to have completely dropped that.
She shows up in the same way you find a piece of lint in your pocket occasionally.
Ah, right. Just pops in at the end there.
Yeah. Oh, look. Another over-elaborate, unsupervised death sequence.
I kind of want to be like the head of a criminal organization just to use those now, because I bet they're actually really hard to escape. I bet, like, we all make fun of these, but they're, like, legitimately, it's like, you're in a cage, what are you going to do? It's like, oh, yeah, actually you get lowered into the water and die.
We're going to use that acid pen from the very start of the game in the 2-pixel lock. We couldn't have used it in any other part of the cage, just the lock. And the other thing from the very start of the game, the grappling hook watch.
Sweet.
I hope you remembered we were having those. Now, this didn't happen in this case, but I seem to remember from the original Amiga version that if you'd let the cage go too far down, the, like, being bounced up would dislodge you from the cable and you'd fall into the piranhas.
Awesome.
Still, now to save the day.
I kind of want to see what the piranha, like, was there... No, I suppose it wouldn't have been interesting.
Now to save the day, because we're... Oh.
So...
No, that wasn't actually what we were supposed to do.
That's great. I know, it's like a Pixar.
Thanks for keeping a consistent tone, Operation Stealth.
Yeah. That was bizarre. Like, that was like if, Quentin Tarantino films just ended with him going, "That's all, folks," like everyone, regardless of how serious it was.
I wouldn't put it past him. And that's pretty much how Kill Bill ended, isn't it?
But Kill Bill was tonally goofy.
So what we're actually supposed to do is go inside this grill on the wall.
Didn't even see that though.
Oh, exactly.
Operate grill.
Operate stealth.
That looks more like a louse than a spider. Like, their insignia looks like something you have to get a medicated cream.
Remember that maze, Gabe?
Oh,
Do you want to do another one? This time with very low visibility and rats everywhere. Laid out in such a way that it's always the least obvious route you have to take, and oh, we're dead.
What the?
I think this is the point of maximum bullshit. This is the bullshit singularity. Again, there are 4 of these. This was the most arduous thing. So I'm going to reload a fucking save for my last playthrough, because I'd be buggered if I'm doing this again.
No, I completely agree. That's the worst thing in the world. That's worse than child leukemia. That is frigging horrible.
Yes, it is worse than child leukemia.
Oh, God! I can't imagine you actually fucking diddling around and getting through that.
I know, I can't believe I did it myself.
I'd have picked another fucking game. I've gone, nah.
I almost did, actually. But
Operate Soldier.
I noticed Future Wars was a popular video, so I thought... No, it's not particularly reasonable.
Is this reasonable? You're a fucking spy in a fucking France, man. Like...
Well, we're not a French spy.
No, but it's a French game.
Yeah, we is the best. And now we have an unconscious man in a locker room with only wearing his pants.
Well, time to bugger him. I wasn't going to, but while I'm here.
Obviously, yes. Let's steal his clothes, obviously. That's part of the game.
Take
the boots. Yes, it's the George Lucas gambit. We're going to put on the enemy uniform. But the laces are a separate object that we are going to take.
Seems... I mean, I know they'll be used for something later, but that whole thing seems rather pointless.
There's also a 1-pixel glass on the sink that we need.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, there's no come a little closer bullshit in Operation Stealth, but if you can't get to the thing you're indicating as the crow flies, he'll basically just stop and there'll be no indication that you need to move. So now we're going to tie up the soldier with the laces. Fucking long laces they have.
Yeah, I was going to say, like... these boots were like full knee-highs.
Yeah, there must be some pretty fucking crazy boots. Unless we like those corset boots the goths wear.
Mm.
Now we're ready to begin our dastardly plan. Oh, no. The soldier we just tied up has revealed our identity.
Didn't you tie him up?
Yeah, we tied him up. We didn't gag him.
Oh, the napkin.
Yeah, now we have to gag him. Hello again, Mr. Fish.
Yeah, that thing does look like us.
Thank you for reminding us through your napkin, Mr. Fish, that we needed to use ours. Now I just have to hope no other soldiers ever go into this locker room.
Nah, why would they?
Oh, of course.
I'd have dumped him in the vent.
Right. Now we can finally go about our business disguised as the enemy. And fortunately there's no more shitty arcade sequences. Now it's pure adventure puzzling from here on out.
I was gonna say, like...
Although there are some bullshit timed puzzles.
That last arcade sequence, I mean, you're never gonna top that.
Yeah, I think they pretty much realised they'd shot their load at that point.
Stop digging, you've struck oil.
Although it's actually quite reminiscent of a scene from the original book version of Dr. No.
Huh?
There's a scene in that where James Bond... no, it's not game. It's full of laces, we can see. Yeah, that's another misaligned dialogue box.
Awesome, more
programming.
laces.
But yeah, there's a scene in Dr. No the book where James Bond is put inside Dr. No's, maze of death. And he has to go through like a cramped, like pitch black ventilation system that's full of tarantulas. So, close adherence to the original Ian Fleming books. Not much close adherence to fun.
No.
So now we found the drawer that actually was filled with the blank wooden stamps of legend.
Aren't the Ian Fleming books weirdly sexist? Like, even for the time?
They were. I've read a few of them. And
My brother's read all of them, and he's just like, it goes on at length weirdly about,
it does. It's always like describing male characters, like, goes for, like, one sentence. Whenever he describes a female character, it's like 1.5 pages.
Not just that, but also like in like weirdly like even for the era, like unnecessarily derogatory.
And he's got some weird preferences, Ian Fleming. Every time he's describing an attractive lady, they always have a wide mouth and a layer of downy fuzz in their lower back.
That's fantastically specific. Like the wide mouth, okay. Fuzz on the lower back. That's you, Ian. I'm sorry. That's.
I've never really understood the appeal of the wide mouth, because Julia Roberts has a wide mouth and she fucking scares the shit out of me.
It's because she's 3/4 shark.
Now we found an inflatable...
Have you seen her lose a tooth?
Now we found an inflatable life raft. Again, we need to pick that up now or we'll be fucked later. We found it in a dark, shadowy section underneath a control panel.
I think, like, adventure... Because I've been playing I Have No Mouth and I'm a Scream lately, and adventure games really need to somehow express that there are dead ends.
Yes.
Like, they really... An adventure game that is... It's fine to have dead ends, like, let you fuck yourself up and, proceed further without being able to finish where you're going, but you have to let people know.
Or just design games like LucasArts do, so that never actually happens.
Well, I understand why you'd want to put a dead end in.
Uh-oh, it's a bullshit death. We took the laces out of our boots, and so we have drawn the attention of an officer who has realised that we are John Glames.
And
Paramus is Paramus again. So this time we'll remember to use laces on John.
Oh, come on, for fuck's sake.
Not to strangle himself, to lace up his boots, of course.
I'm gonna tie them to my balls and cut off the blood supply just to feel something.
And now we still garner the officer's attention, but this time he doesn't notice that we're John Glames.
Still wants his water.
Yeah, we've already got the glass of water, but it sends us back anyway. So it could make all the soldiers leave the room without having to animate it.
Oh, so basically, if you were playing that through, you'd have walked up, you said, give me a glass of water, walked all the way back, gotten the glass of water, come back, and then the puzzle that you needed it for is gone anyway.
Oh, it's still a puzzle, but now you have to find where the officer has moved to. It's not here, because this is back in the locker room. I got confused for a moment.
Yeah. Soldier, get me a glass of water. I'm gonna go hide. You just hear giggling, like...
It's part of our initiation.
That's something I've wanted to do, is just hide somewhere in an office works and call them at closing time and tell them that I'm in there somewhere. Just have them go, oh, fuck.
Can you find me?
Yeah. I'm hiding. Bullshit. They'll just shout out, ah, god damn it, I'll tear the place apart looking for me.
So even though he noticed us from across the room that we were John Glames just because our boots are untied.
Yeah. Well, that was a dead giveaway. Only Glames walks around with untied boots.
He doesn't notice that we're John Glames even though when we're right in front of him handing him a glass of water and just swapped the stamp on his desk for the blank stamp.
I know, like, it's like faces don't exist. Could you imagine if I just walked up to you, like, in a different suit and just tried to claim that I wasn't me?
Well, faces didn't exist in another world. No one had a face in that game. Or Flashback, actually. It was all those vectorized animations.
I really like that animation style and that game style, kind of like Limbo, like the little jump and push puzzle thing. I've always been very fond of that.
Oops, wrong door again. I'm just a scatterbrained when I don't have my walkthrough open. Oh, for some reason the programming's fucking up. Would like to walk past this corridor now, thank you, game. Please. Oh, the floppy disk has agreed that we may continue. Thank you, floppy disk.
Pass.
You must worship the floppy disk before you may continue.
Yep, that's what that thing is. It doesn't just mean save for some mysterious reason.
Like that arrow next to the door, as if to say, here is a door. Go inside this door, that is what the door is for.
Use door.
There's an ink pad,
John.
but John's in the way. Get out of the way, John. I want the ink pad.
It's always a fairly hit and miss thing if you have the point to
count-
recognize the character.
Yeah, because means you can use it for puzzles.
And some
it also
interesting
means-
puzzles, to be fair.
Yeah, but if you've got like a small environment like this with small pixel hunty puzzles, it gets very, very annoying. Here's another programming mishap. The inky stamp is identified in the inventory as an ink pad. You
Use ink pad on ink pad.
just have to guess which one's the inky stamp and which one's the original ink pad.
I'm gonna go have a meat on meat sandwich and wash it down with a glass of meat.
So now we have an officially stamped mission instruction that I happen to know we're going to need.
That's what I mean. Like, adventure games like this, they really need to tell you, or at least give you an idea about what you're supposed to be bloody doing.
Yeah, first rule of puzzle design in an adventure game is present the problem and then the solution. Otherwise, it's just gay. Now, this is another case of having to use a gadget mentioned in the booklet that is not identified in the game. We got two kinds of fancy cigarette. One of the kinds is a fingerprint lifting cigarette. So we have to use the cigarette paper on the glass that we gave to that officer.
Did you even? I didn't even see you give it to the officer.
Yeah, that's why he turned away for a second, so he could replace the stamp.
Oh, that's right. My brain just... I just had a mild stroke.
You tend to have a lot of those, don't you?
Well, I've had like 3 hours sleep.
You really should stop masturbating. Because we're trying to record a video, dude, and this is hardly the place for it.
I'm gonna get back to the weird cock-sucking discussions of the last video.
Let's not bring up how many handbags we've ejaculated into, shall we?
Well, you know...
Let's restrain ourselves from that
Did I bring it up?
confession.
Did I bring it up?
You did. You totally brought it up. And now
I said I had a stroke.
you have plenty of strokes. You're having quite a few strokes now. Ba-bum.
But,
That was a masturbation joke. Did you get it, Gabriel? Did you get what I was saying there? I was saying
about
you were
to get it.
masturbating.
Put my hand on
No, don't do that, John Glames. Did you see that?
Yeah. Glames! John Glames!
Hello, I'm John Glames. Luckily, this man apparently does not perceive anything that doesn't come through the slot by the side of the window.
Whatever, dude. I just work here.
An authorized mission. Fine. I assume the mission is through that door.
Whatever you say. John Glames!
Bye, John Glames. Have a good time foiling our plans, John Glames.
Glames.
This is I do save here, but I'm not gonna show off any more bullshit deaths because, frankly, fuck 'em.
Well, again, if it's just a line of dialogue, I say skip it. If there's if they bother to animate something and create a thing, I say show it. That's generally my rule.
Now, do you remember the message that was played from the Razor when we first used it?
No.
You know, the joke 5 4 3 2 1 just self-destruct
yeah.
thing. Well, that's important now. So they actually worked that into a puzzle. We've left that Razor playing in the bin before we proceed to the final confrontation, and that will save us.
And you would know how to do that as the game progresses via...
In no possible way. Because I have a walkthrough, that's how you'd know. And there's Julia, since you were asking.
Of course.
She's just been
I love that hair. Look at that. That's some Cleopatra great shit.
I just think it's not her hair. Her head is just being, gradually devoured by the void of time and space.
Mm-hmm. She might be kind of like Warhammer 40k. She's like a weird boy. She's just part of it.
Yeah, that's a gap in reality.
That's just attached itself to her head.
Someone opened a hole in the fabric of space and she got her head stuck in it, the dozy cow.
It's just stuck on there. It won't come off. Looks nice, can condition it.
You were asking why there were palm trees on the bottom of the sea. Now we're raising the base. Although, why you'd have to disguise it as an island when you're going to make it sink and lower, I do not know.
Yeah.
Because surely people would be suspicious of seeing an island sink and lower. They'd be suspicious of seeing anything sink and lower.
Anything that vast emerging from the water is going to draw attention.
It doesn't matter if it's disguised as an island, for God's sake.
Could be an enormous clown. Thunderbirds.
So yes, the stealth bomber is taking off. It's going to go and bomb Washington. They did it 35 minutes ago.
Sweet.
Now we have to foil their plans from a situation of
absolute screwedness.
Being covered by a gun being held by a man who looks like we do. And by the way, we're wearing our tuxedo again. That's why I told you to remember we were wearing a wetsuit earlier. So yeah, so that timer reaches 346.
Shut up. That's great. I actually like that.
He's such a non-suave secret agent, isn't he?
Why 346? Shut up,
Shut
you
up.
fucking idiot.
Why doesn't anyone else do that with James Bond? Shut up, Bond!
That was great. Why 346? Turns around, shut up.
See, if GoldenEye had tried that in the laser scene, he might have killed the bastard, but it was because James Bond talked his way out of that he didn't get lasered.
Don't talk to him.
Oh, there we go. So, we needed to do that to create a momentary distraction so that we could fire our second kind of trick cigarette, which was a rocket cigarette, at the computer that will blow up the entire base.
Why would you install that?
I know, it seems a little counterproductive, doesn't it?
That's why I keep...
Why did we install this thing?
Are you sure we should put this in? It's kind of wired up to the whole base.
And that rocket cigarette is going to fly around for a while as a sort of comedy sequence.
Don't believe.
This reminds me of the comedy sequence in Diamonds Are Forever, which was incredibly out of place as well.
Wasn't that getting up into, like, because once it got to, what's his name?
That was the last Sean Connery film.
Oh, right.
You have like a split second to operate Otto in that moment before you die.
They'd kind of, you know, once it got to
And Julia's fulfilling her usual role in life again.
Oh, you know, the void in time and space has kind of eaten most of her brain. Okay, that's not a fucking spider. Like, look at that on the ground. That's not a spider. Yeah, well, it's a louse. It looks like a lice. That's...
Now, we were given that CD-ROM by Charlie in the submarine. He told us it deactivates the stealth thing so that now any plane can shoot it down. We have saved the day. Hooray for John Glane.
Fuck yeah. Now the whole world will remember the name.
But now the base is going to explode because that was a load-bearing scheme. I love this next bit, incidentally. Yeah,
you think?
Yeah, that's James Bond's lightning-quick thinking in action.
Buildings explode, claims want to go home.
I love that. Dr. White just sort of gave up on the idea of taking Julia with him.
Well, really, why would you bring her with you at that point?
And now we're escaping on the helicopter with him. That looks a lot like the Volcano Island from Leisure Suit Larry 2, incidentally. That just struck me playing this game.
I haven't played 2 in a while.
Actually ends on a pretty much identical sequence to this.
7 finally came out on Good Old Games.
Oh. And now we have to do something very quickly or we're dead. And it involves that elastic band, and if we hadn't brought that, we'd be fucked.
Awesome.
So when I first had the game, this was where I was fucked over, at the very, 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 very end of the game. Because I didn't pick up the fucking elastic band, and I said to myself, you know what, I don't even care anymore. I don't care how the game ends.
Oh.
And we have to operate the inflatable lifeboat, and there we go.
Julia. Everything's okay.
Don't
we
worry.
didn't find your dad.
Don't worry, everything is okay. We're in the middle of the ocean with no oars or signal devices.
Or food, or water.
We'd better just have some sex.
Yeah.
And then hope that we don't starve before you've given birth so that we can eat the child.
Yeah, come on. Jonathan Swift, motherfucker. Organic. Home cooked.
I'm going to slowly scroll back up to the helicopter, which is just hovering there.
And the world's strongest elastic band.
Knyak, knyak, knyak. Commented Dr. Y. See, this should have been Otto. Otto was established as the villain earlier. He should have been the main villain. They shouldn't just introduce a villain 2/3 into the game and then have him be the big finish.
That was, Dishonored did that really badly. It had a big problem with, like, who's the fucking villain.
I like how the camera slowly scrolls down again as if to say, anyway.
Well, now that that's over.
And now... it's
back to the void?
No, it's just, back to the void for a moment, and then, it's the outro, I think. Really long void black screens in this game. That's probably why it takes so bloody long. And Julia is almost falling over with every single step. This is apparently her uncle president, who is now not the imposter.
What the bleeding hell? It's a kingpin.
Remember when you said President Gigante? That was something what made me think of. Look at his forehead, Jesus Christ.
If anyone's
trying
played
to
Super
escape.
Punch-Out, he looks like one of the bosses from Super Punch-Out.
John Glames favours the boot cut in his trousers, it seems. This is
Help, John Glames' brain.
Oh shit, what's that?
Ah! Glames. You scared lady, scared Glames.
This is our first good look at John Glames' face, incidentally. What the fuck is that? What is going on with her face? Thank you for sparing us that hand that does not seem to be attached to John Glames.
Looks like the kind of replicant you don't need the void comp for. Like, just, we made her face wrong, you can spot it a mile away, it doesn't matter.
And it still looked like her head was disappearing into the void.
Void. There's probably like this, whole subplot.
And now the void tells us who is responsible for this mess. Most of these names are returning from Future Wars, except Eric Chahi is being the notable absence.
When was this made?
I don't know, I forgot to look that up.
Might he have been on,
Probably not too long after. Oh, there's our old friend Michael Sportouch. Remember him? The sound effects were by Manic Miner.
Cool.
And special thanks to Claire Le Hello.
And a bunch of other people who didn't.
Do you think there's anyone in England called, like, Jack Bonjour?
It sounds like the protagonist from a really shitty airport novel.
Hello, Jacques Bonjour.
Yeah,
Jacques Bonjour shielded his eyes from the sun as he stepped into the blazing heat of Santa Paragua.
There'll be lots of descriptions of sweat and how glistening it is in this book.
And then he was immediately arrested by the customs official for not being
With John Glames.
for not being British.
Delphine, Delphine games are like a scratch it where you have like $500. Oh, cherry. Like that's all their games are like that, where it's like this is really good. One little bit's wrong, and now it's just fucked up the whole thing. Like that.
I think it was slightly more than one wrong bit in this one.
With some minor, like relatively minor tweaking, all things considered, it could have been not like what you'd call great or like, hey, you gotta play this like little game that you've never heard of, but it wouldn't have been shithouse.
There are some aspects of this game I like. One aspect I like is the pseudo copy protection thing it does with the gadgets, where it doesn't tell you what the gadgets do. You have to have read about them in the booklet.
Booklets.
Comparatively clever, I thought.
You don't get booklets anymore.
No.
You just get little pamphlets that tell you about DLC.
I miss those little like flavor booklets you used to get, where it would be like an in-universe thing.
Yeah. Like here's your in Manhunter, it gives you a Manhunter's booklet instructions about how your first day as a Manhunter.
Your gadget instruction manual, or the copy of Popular Tektronix that came with Space Quest 6.
Space Quests.
You know, there's one thing that baffles me about Operation Stealth, and that's I've never heard of a case in which you can get the James Bond license for one country but not another one.
Yeah.
I don't
actually, that is.
I mean, I sort of let that slide, but thinking about it, I don't see how that would work.
Well, the James Bond license isn't. We're not talking about Lord of the Rings here. It's not as tightly held as you'd think. I mean, it bounced around for a little while when what is it, MCM or whatever went under. MGM, yeah, went under. It was.
But it's not like separately owned in one country and then to another. If you got a permission from I don't know, whoever in America, surely you'd have permission anywhere else. I'd have thought.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. You know how ridiculous the laws around that shit are, though. Like,
well, it's not my area of expertise, licensing law.
Well, no, but there are enough little, odds and ends that I've noticed along the way where it's been like this seems to be operating on its own form of common sense and logic.
So, yes, that was game 2 of the 3 Delphine cinematic adventure games. The third one was the one you found strangely amusing, Cruise for a Corpse.
Cruise for a Corpse. Come on, that's funny. Cruise for a Corpse. That's a...
I never really considered it when I first knew of the game back in my Amiga days.
Well, I mean, also chart the evolution of titles. Future Wars. Operation Stealth.
Or
James Bond,
also known as James Bond The Stealth Affair.
Yeah, well, that's actually close to something. Like, The Stealth Affair is actually almost a sensible title for a game.
It kind of sounds like something else, doesn't it? It sounds like James Bond sneaking into the latest paramour's bedroom.
It's actually just a reskinned Leisure Suit Larry 3.
Sneaking into someone's house while her husband's away, and now I'm picturing James Bond taking the lead role in one of those Confessions of a Window Cleaner films that the British film industry made in the 60s.
Just a full 180 minutes of him porking on the big screen.
I wish there had been more porking in those films. It was mainly just bad jokes and occasional tits.
I
used to watch a lot of them, because I used to watch a lot of Channel 5 back in England.
You'll have to regionalise that for me. What was Channel 5 about in England?
Well, tits. I would have thought that would have been quite self-evident.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I'm not from England. I don't know. Channel 5. Oh, yeah, the tits channel. I've fathomed the page 3 girl thing. Like, that's crossed over here enough, because we don't. Yeah. Australia doesn't have that. I mean, we have the Courier Mail, and that's basically a rag for semi-literate retards. But even that doesn't have just here's some tits on page 3. Like,
I think British tabloids are their own little entity.
It's an impressive descent into. Like, it's basically, they used to keep the plebs illiterate, and now they can't do that, so they just have them read horrible, meaningless crap.
Basically, what we're doing, listener, is we're going to keep talking until one of us says something vaguely funny that we can end on. Are you enjoying our struggle to get to that point?
I got nothing. I have to pee real bad, that's about it.
Gabriel's going to have a piss. I just said the word piss. Have a laugh at that.
Poo.
That'll do. Hello, this is Tossbag Bunkerkund.
I knew it was going to be Operation Stealth.
And who are you?
To be decided.
This is Gabriel.
And
as if you didn't guess. And now we're playing a copy protection system.
Ooh.
Called Operation Stealth.
To gain access to this file, match the proper color codes. This reminds me of the pirate wheel from
High-tech solutions right here.
Yeah.
Even before DRM.
Booklets, because...
Now here's a picture of the developer's last birthday party.
Looks like what a mime has a nightmare about.
Yes, as Gabe helpfully pointed out, this is Operation Stealth from our old friends Delphine Studios, who made Future Wars. This was the game after that, the second in the 3 Delphine Software cinematic games. So it's like a film, because you have to be sure. You have to be quiet and reverent, because it's a film. It's starting, Gabe. It's starting. Shh, shh, shh.
This was back when cinematic in gaming wasn't a bad thing.
And now... a douchebag.
Yeah. That looks like one of those 4chan things where they just mirror a face.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a perfectly... I was saying, yes, cover up that bloody soul patch. We don't want to see any more of that.
I was not expecting that. That's actually pretty cool.
Yes. It's a flight helmet.
Yeah, I figure is he going to get ejected from something or injected into something? Well, he might be getting put into a big machine robot thing. Oh, there we go.
No, he's not. Do you see that mysterious body on the floor? Maybe this douche isn't supposed to be wearing that flight suit.
See, I kind of respect that, like, because I missed that. That's,
It's probably because there's a big bar at the bottom of my video player that's partially blocking it.
Is there a thing that can you move the mouse? Oh, there we go.
And now some music. I think actually graphics has improved significantly since Future Wars. Then, yeah.
No, for all the faults in any gameplay of the games they've made, Delphine always had amazing presentation. Like even Shaq Fu had a complete story with like cutscenes and shit.
Yes, and then there was Flashback, of course, in which the art style changed from cutscene to cutscene.
I still kind of like that. I'd like a game that actually, that's why I kind of enjoy some of Suda's stuff. The idea of, a game that changes graphics and game styles.
Suda 5.1, he means.
Yeah. Not, my friend Suda.
And this is opera. We're going on out in the opera. Oh no, it's operating. We're going to operate on a lady. Oh no, it's Operation. It's Operation Stealth.
Operation Stealth.
Which isn't a very good name for an operation, is it? Because my understanding was that you give code names to operations so that the enemy don't know what the operation's about.
Operation Fluffy Weasel.
Oh, there's some shenanigans involving a stealth bomber going on, and now there's people doing something called Operation Stealth. I wonder what that's involved with.
Probably customs officers, some Popeye fucking forearms going.
And we've been sent a telegram.
Oh. I remember those.
Yeah, ring like
Stop.
evokes a bit of the old memory lane, doesn't it?
I mean, I never received one.
So now we have completed part 1 of the get through airport and baggage claim puzzle.
Oh,
This is just busy work because you've only got one airline ticket. You just give it to the guy and that's it. You started with the ticket.
it's just.
You just can't get over his beefy arms, can you?
Well, they're like that's not beefy. Beefy does not adequately describe Ultra Che Guevara over there.
So that telegram we got said, Flight 714, Mr. Martinez. And this is the baggage claim for Flight 714.
I presume you get shot if you try to take.
Yeah, if you take anyone else's bags, you'll eventually get shot for stealing.
Mr. Martinez. Operate baggage.
Whoops. That's a bit of a dialogue fucker, wasn't it, Delphine? I don't think that message was supposed to go there.
Oh, you mean that wasn't something actually happening?
No. That was a glitch.
Ah.
That
Okay,
will not
so
be the first glitch we run into throughout the course of this game.
awesome.
Yes, the engine has been improved slightly from Future Wars and devolved slightly from Future Wars.
Well, I mean, glitches. That's.
This is me trying to put the bag back on the carousel. And then this baffling statement appears. It's a French game. Translation's dodgy in here and there.
Yeah, that bordered on Zen Cohen, though. Like, I feel a part of my consciousness I've never used just got expanded.
None of it bothers Bandy Legs John Glames, though. He's just gonna bumble about his business. So we picked up an electric razor and a watch from that baggage.
You're gonna shave justice into your face?
No, as we would have learned from the booklet, the electric razor is actually a secret spy communication device.
Ah.
And the watch...
Is a transmitter?
No. The watch shoots grappling hooks on a bit of wire, of course.
Yeah, fuck.
Although we won't actually use it for a very long time. So this is where when I first played this game on the Amiga, it took a very long time for me to hear this, but this is actually the first thing you're supposed to do in the game. You have to go to a park. Ha ha ha, that wasn't really exploding. Do you get the joke, Gabe? It said it was going to explode, but then it didn't. You get it, Gabe? Do you get it?
No, that kind of sophisticated French humor just goes right over my head.
So apparently we have to meet our contact in the park. But basically, we know we're looking for the stolen stealth bomber, but our moment-to-moment instruction at this point is make contact with your contact. Now, at this point in the game won't actually let you show the American passport to this guy. It just goes, you shouldn't do that.
Not related one iota.
Yeah, this music still fits really well, I think. CIA headquarters, man at a desk.
Man at a desk.
Gabriel, say the words, this looks like it could be a James Bond game.
This looks like it could be a James Bond game.
Funny you should say that, Gabriel, because it was a James Bond game. In America.
Oh, really?
In America it was called James Bond The Stealth Affair, because somehow they managed to wangle the license over there. Everywhere else it was called Operation Stealth, and the main character's name is, brace yourself, John Glames.
That's... Okay, I've been playing Xenoblades, and I will say that it is hard to make up names. Like, Xenoblades is great in everything except the names that it comes up with are the worst names for monsters, weapons, and characters. It's just awful.
I've noticed a problem with that in like Japanese RPG. If you play like the PS1 translation of Final Fantasy V, the monster names are fucking stupid.
The main weapon, the big weapon of fate in Xenoblades, is called the Monado. That sounds like a shitty budget car.
Sounds like a Latin American drum band.
Hello, we are Monado, a loving tribute to Menudo.
So there's a whole lot of plot going on here. Basically, the gist of it is the prototype stealth bomber that the Americans were developing has been stolen by that douche man.
Yeah.
And
I like a game that introduces the villain first.
And apparently, like an episode of Columbo. And apparently it's currently in...
Good luck, John!
Good luck, John!
I like the idea that he just shouted that. He did shout that.
He did.
Because the response was, yeah, thanks.
Well, he's so smooth, John Glames.
Yeah, that's probably like part of their training, is their superiors will just, without...
So yeah, apparently the stealth bomber is somewhere in Santa Paraguay, the fictional South American nation.
I suffer from sausage fingers, don't tease me.
Also, I am Stan Laurel.
Some mutant fucking hands. There's also a little...
And now we are in gameplay. We're ready to go.
Whee!
Just gonna... Yeah, I played through this game once before to get it all done. Yeah. You might notice my frustration rising through those save games.
Sausage feast! That's made me chuckle.
Oh, can't start our adventure right away.
At least it's got... Do you right-click to bring up the little menu?
Yes, like in Future Wars. And unlike in Future Wars, you can actually interact with your inventory by right-clicking on a verb. That is something I did not realise for quite a while when I first started this game. I was stuck in this little room for a long time. So we're going to take our American...
like his own anime drawing of himself.
We'll take our American passport because we're a CIA agent, not an MI6 agent. Although, apparently, weirdly enough, you're still working for the CIA even in the James Bond version of the game.
Well, didn't he have that CIA buddy?
He didn't take orders from them.
Oh, no, but...
So, we show that our American passport.
Glames.
John Glames. I like the detail. Not John Bames. That would have been too obvious. Oh, no. Hostages. Hostages? Yes, apparently if any American comes into the country, absolutely any citizen can kidnap them.
That's... I like the idea that somewhere...
Well, we're off to a flying start with two very beefy armed men. There's a lot of bullshit death.
That was awesome. I love games with bullshit death.
There was bullshit death in Future Wars. There's a lot of bullshit death here too.
Let's go. Woo! Those weren't arms. Those were other people. Like the Mexican governments tried to create devastators out of regular human beings and midgets.
So, in fact, what we have to do is mess around firstly with this.
I was going to say, didn't you show him the passport? Like,
yeah, but it was because we revealed ourselves as an American that we were then, we then got killed. And this is like a very clever joke reference to the newspaper machine in Future Wars, where you did this exact same puzzle, look in the coin return slot and put the coin in.
A newspaper!
And there's an actual reference, because remember in Future Wars we had to do that twice. So now that we've got the newspaper, we can read it and realise which country is currently diplomatically fine with Santa Paraguay. In this case it's the UK, but it changes randomly each time you play.
So is that just a dialogue tech, or is it another...
Well, this is... I guess this is copy protection, but not really. How it works is that the game came with a little booklet detailing all the spy gadgets you've been given, but you're not actually told what the spy gadgets are in-game. You have to just know what they are. See that pen we just picked up?
Yep.
If you examine it, it'll just say it's an ordinary pen, but it actually drops acid. And by drop acid, I mean it produces metal dissolving acid. It does not take lysergic acid and reminisce about the 60s. And the calculator opens the secret compartment in the briefcase, which contains a passport falsifier.
Don't leave home without it.
So we've got a blank passport, and we just have to change it to England. And then we can make a passport that will ensure that we don't get kidnapped, because any other passport would. Well, this is a very diplomatically iffy situation this country's in. That's
not exactly what you'd call a diplomatic response of just,
immediately kidnap.
Not from the UK. Guess where you're going.
So now, yes, our XP James Bond can now pretend to be English like James Bond is.
Does he have to put on an accent?
Well, we don't even know what he's talking about.
I imagine that he's got a really thick South Carolinian accent.
See, the thing about John Glames is that he's not, retarded like Mr. Hero from Future Wars was, but I think he's just kind of a bumbler. He doesn't really respond to anything. He doesn't really have any emotional response. He doesn't... decisively decide to do anything. The plot just moves along when people decide to explain things to him, but the rest of the time he just sort of ambles through life.
John Glames.
Oh, and it's funny you should mention, being arrested for stealing other people's baggage, because they will now bring up that we are not carrying Mr. Glames's bag. Master Spy John Glames there, talking his way out of a difficult situation with his charm.
By going, people guards at airports and banana republics are completely okay with you just going, I don't know, when you have somebody else's luggage.
No.
Hey, why don't you just borrow a kid while you're at it? Just yoink one of them.
Oh, I think this is one of my favourite scenes in the game, just for showing John Glamsby the absolute douchebag that he is. Nothing interesting, just a woman struggling to make her way in the world.
Well,
A single parent being shat on by the society that claims to look after her. And now we're gonna nick her.
children.
And now we're gonna nick her taxi.
We're going into a bright future, not like that single
Please.
mother.
Step on it before she starts shouting at us in a very Latino and feisty way.
Mrs. Stereotype, can I get you to please calm down?
Oh yes, let me off here, please. This place looks lovely. Well, seen enough of that. Let's go back.
What? Do you go back to that later?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
good.
just they drop you off here just to inconvenience you.
That wasn't just a intricate background done for no reason whatsoever then.
Because we are supposed to buy a red carnation from the flower shop there, so that we can be recognised by our contact.
Do we know that? Like, did the...
Yeah, the electric razor said that. But we can't. But she doesn't have change, so we have to go to this bank to change our money into coins. And here's a hint here, it says he has got more change. You actually have to do this twice with your bench of notes.
Bench of notes?
I think they mean bunch of notes.
I'm pretty sure they mean bunch too.
I quite like that gag, actually.
Everyone's rude in banana republics.
I just think it's like a humorous self-dig at the gameplay mechanic of having to throw the same bench of notes twice. For no apparent reason.
It would be a weird thing to do, just to walk into a 7-Eleven and go, can I get this $5 note changed into 2 2s and a 1? Then they do it, and you just don't move. You wait an awkward 6 seconds and go, can I get this $5 note changed? just to watch the crinkle of the brow.
Yes, it's quite a sophisticated moment for this game. It has its ups and downs, it must be said.
I see what you mean about the bendy legs.
Yeah, and now there doesn't appear to be any examine dialogue for any of these flowers.
Great.
But who needs it, right?
Yeah. It says red carnation, you know what you need.
Incidentally, Eric Chahi was not the artist on this.
No, it doesn't look it.
I don't think he was involved in this at all. His name doesn't appear in the end credits, as far as I remember. Perhaps he's moved on to pastures new by now.
You take the prettiest red carnation.
Oh, what a delightful senorita you will look with that on, Mr.